So could you please briefly characterize the major aspects of the British colour cosmetics market?
Well, the first thing to say is that it's a very vibrant market and it's growing consistently well and above the European average, and has been since the recession of 2009-2010. It's characterised by a lot of innovation, new product launches, and then from the point of view of consumers have been very receptive to new trends, new types of product sectors, etc. So we're seeing growth really right across the board pretty much.
And what segments have been particularly successful lately?
I'd like to just talk about the premium sector, because that's an area which I do a lot of work in with my premium market report. The premium industry for colour cosmetics has been growing by twice the size of the total market, about 12.8%, and it's worth roughly £630 million, and that's according to NPD Group research. Now, what they're saying, and what I've also been seeing with my research, is that certain sectors are doing extremely well, particularly foundations, and then also some of the newer sectors such as brow products, primers, accessories, palettes. They're not necessarily new in terms of, eye versus lip, that kind of thing, but the idea of selling products or palettes with multiple colours is a very strong trend in the UK market.
Could you provide some examples of very innovative products?
Well, I think in foundation we're seeing certainly some really interesting developments and at the premium end, and I think it's an area where they've really managed to differentiate themselves from mass. So most recent innovations that we've seen that have caught my eye has been the Bobbi Brown Serum Foundation, which I think is an interesting one, because it's very much about combining skincare attributes into a colour product, but in a with really advanced skincare technology. And then there's also the YSL Fusion Ink Foundation is another example of a sort of skin-based foundation product which goes onto the skin in a very lightweight, easy way, but provides fantastic coverage, but not in a way that you would notice. So in other words, it's all about creating fantastic, fabulous looking skin rather than covering up with colour.
And what in fact is the biggest segment in colour cosmetics in the UK?
It's actually face makeup, and within foundation, foundation is a major part of that. So, but in terms of other growth sectors which are up and coming, and the most noteworthy is brow products. So this trend for strong brows and really defining one's brows by using colour cosmetics, that's really come on enormously in the last few years. And Benefit's Brow Zings is the leading brow product in the UK, and it's an interesting product because it combines, it's got a wax with a powder product, two separate products that you combine to sort of fix the product, and it's clearly struck a chord with consumers, and that's why it's number one.
Has there been any segment which has been decreasing in sales lately?
I think what's quite interesting in the overall makeup market is that lip products have not performed as strongly as one might have imagined. There's always been this term, the lipstick effect, which is when times are tough, women will go out and buy themselves a new colour lipstick to cheer themselves up, and we weren't seeing that so much this time around. But the area which really caught consumers' imaginations was, or still is, nail products, and they have grown enormously because of the fact that there's been a lot of innovation, certainly in terms of colour, new types of textures, nail art, giving consumers the ability to be creative in terms of making their own look. But I think it's also symptomatic of the fact that it's a cheap way of updating your outfit. So, if you can't afford to buy a new outfit, you can certainly do some fantastic things with your nails, and it's cheap, it's disposable, and I think that's the reason why that one's grown so well.
What is your future outlook for the British colour cosmetics market?
Well, I'm very optimistic because I think that there's still a lot of opportunities for growth, certainly within the premium sector. The growth rate this year, as I mentioned, was plus 12.8% according to NPD. And there's no signs of that slowing down. And I think as long as brands can continue to be innovative and obviously competitive and bringing out the right products which consumers really want to try and use, that's got to be good news for the future of the industry.